Joining me now to discuss gender's transition is Nell Gibbon, a psychotherapist. Nell, thank you so much for your time. I want to first get your reaction to this interview. What stood out to you?
I think that the network did such a beautiful job of really telling his story from beginning to end and educating the population that was watching. I just think they really captured what it's like to be sitting with someone who is going through such a huge transition in their life.
I want to bring up something that Zoe Tur last hour brought up to me, the former helicopter pilot in Los Angeles, who is now a transgender woman, and she told me that the interview was quite confusing, especially when Jenner said, "I am not gay." Can you help us understand that? Because I think some people are confused by that statement and what this means for his sexual orientation.
Yeah, since the interview last night, that's the question I've been asked the most by everybody around me. How does he not see himself as gay? I think that what I learned in the interview from his story is that he's at the beginning, in some ways, of transitioning publicly and in a way privately as well, even though he's felt this way through his whole life. So as much as Diane Sawyer pressed that question, I think he, by the end of the interview, sort of backed away and said, it's the public's need to define it for themselves, but for him personally, he's not quite sure what it means once he does transition.
Well, there has been some criticism, but there's also been a lot of words of support for Bruce Jenner. By him going public in this way, what do you hope will come out of this? Do you think there will be more acceptance and obviously awareness about the transgender community?
Absolutely. I think the point of the story is that we got so intimate with his life, and that kind of intimacy, when you learn someone else's story, you have compassion for what they go through. You have compassion perhaps for an ideology or a lifestyle that maybe you weren't compassionate about before because you didn't understand the human side of the story. And I think they did a beautiful job, and he did a great job last night of sharing that part of his soul, as he says, for people to have more awareness, education, and compassion towards the issue for transgendered people.
Yeah, it does take a lot of courage to make such an announcement. Really appreciate your perspective, Nell Gibbon, psychotherapist. Thanks so much for the conversation.
Thank you.